Dallas ultimately came for our boy. We don't love it. There's a lot going on in the sports world. We're going to talk about the NBA, the NFL, a little bit of baseball, and some personal stories around what's going on in the world of sports. Next up on Mama We Made It with DJ and Red. Join us. Wow. What's happening, man? Good morning to you.
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm all right, brother. I'm all right. How about
Good to see you,
sir?
Doing well, man. Staying warm down here in Arizona.
Is that a challenge for you this time of year?
Only if I turn the air up. No, I'm good.
How do you adjust to the desert swing, right? Like it could be a good, 20-degree swing during any given day?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? How did you have to adjust to that when you moved out there?
I didn't really, man. I was coming from Vegas.
Okay.
So Vegas was also piping hot. So it's not tough, man. The tougher part is I actually enjoy dressing for fall. Like I like the sweatshirts, the jackets. So I look forward to the transition to what we call winter.
Okay.
That heat is a beast. I don't golf anymore. That's one thing I had to cut out. But
As in, you don't golf anymore. Or you don't golf in the heat anymore.
in the summer, man, I just just the heat. I don't golf. I had a membership, all that kind of stuff. I cut that out, man. So summer, I was golfing 3 days a week in the heat in the summers. When I first moved here, I don't do that anymore. It just doesn't feel healthy.
Yep. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mama We Made It with DJ and Reg. That's DJ. I'm Reg. We weren't sure what we were going to talk about today, so we are going to do a sports roundup. It's a lot going on in the world of sports, the business of sports, our fandom, and all the things. What's the number one headline for you, Daryl, right now? And obviously we are asynchronously recording this, so this will come out a little delayed. But what's big in your mind in the world of sports right now? Actually, let's start here. How's your fantasy football team?
You know what, brother? I'm so glad you asked that. I beat the brakes off this dude last week. I am 7-3, lodged in second place. I beat a dude who is now 8-2. A little talking, quiet talking. A lot of respect for the young brother, but I beat the brakes off of him. So I'm in second place, man. I got a nice squad. I played Stafford over Lamar last week. It was tricky. He wasn't projected to outscore Mr. Jackson, but he did.
Okay.
So I'm sticking with Stafford, man. So my team is doing well, man. I've lost 3, won 7. Are you still not on that fantasy tip?
At all.
Okay,
At all.
gotcha.
At all.
Gotcha.
And not only am I not on fantasy, and I would do fantasy just because I like the fellowship, but I don't watch enough to even be relevant when it comes to drafting. So I'd be just throwing darts at the board. But I am intrigued by my own. I've watched less football this year than I did last year, which
Okay.
is hard to believe. Part of it is I've been traveling a lot, but part of it is just I'm good with the Red Zone channel from time to time. I watch a lot of soccer on the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and so I have watched less football through this first half of the season than in a really really long time. And actually I feel good about that. I think I'm not sure, but I am paying attention. I am there are teams at the top of the brackets that surprise me. The Patriots out of nowhere, those types of teams.
Right.
So I'm paying general attention, but not really, really closely.
Yeah, I will say I did get the brakes beaten off of me the week before, so I would throw that out there.
Yes.
So, yeah, I had a lot of cats on
Give and
fire,
take.
but
Give and take.
it always
Give and take.
is,
Give and
man.
take.
But you asked me, what's hot right now, right? What's on my mind? Kind of what we saw coming. Someone that we know, respect and appreciate.
Yeah.
Seems to be moving on now. It kind of saw it coming. Felt like everything in the solar system had to align for this brother to keep his job, and that's Nico Harrison, GM down in Dallas Mavericks. I'll share some thoughts, man. Really curious to hear your thoughts. I think part of it is, look, man, it's a sport. Sport is peaks and valleys, laden with crisis. We take our opportunities where we can. We build as much capital as we can, and then we move on, man, and don't make it too critical. What I do hope is that his family lands well, he lands well. Those are the things that I think about. He's got kids in school down there, that kind of thing.
Yep.
I don't like the way the fans treated him.
At all.
That will never change. And specific subset of fans. I hope Nico lands well, and I think he will. Very enterprising dude, great dude. But I also think some of it's probably justified in the world of sport. Like you could see it coming. And again, even going back to Brunson. And could they have kept him? Feels like Brunson wanted to extend that deal 4 years while he was there. It didn't happen. We see what he's doing now. But we also know Adelson and the Dumont crew brought a whole new dynamic. Cuban still got his 27%, but I don't know. So I don't know, man. What do you think? Is that also top of mind for you, or is it something else?
It is. I mean, the news broke recently that Nico Harrison is out as the GM of Dallas Mavericks. What's that? 3-year tenure, give or take.
I think this is year 4. I think I'll check it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so sneaking up on full 4 years. I thought he did good work down there. The squad gets to the finals. You feel like you're building down there. You've got a generational talent. That generational talent seems a little doughy. And people will debate it to the end of time whether or not you sell an ascendant talent like that and get back older talent with some dents in the fender. And so I think, the notion that Luka is better off after this trade, it's very clear that he is.
Yep.
Right? Like the Luka that came into camp this year, looking slim, trim, and ready to go and, pick up the mantle of being the dude in LA. It's been nothing but a blessing for him. And he's off to a blistering start, and that certainly did not help Nico's case whatsoever.
No.
AD being glass is not a surprise to anyone, even though he's super talented and a Hall of Fame talent. All the things. I'm an AD fan. And, the Kyrie injury was the one, right? Like that Kyrie ACL tear, or ACL Achilles. Which one? I forget
Achilles,
now.
wasn't it?
Which one was it?
I thought it was Achilles.
Achilles,
I could be
yeah.
wrong.
But that injury was major, and the timing is terrible, and you feel snake bitten. But I thought trying to get athletic in Dallas when you got Houston down the street and San Antonio down the block, and the West looking dangerous, feels like he was trying to make the right move. They were never gonna let him live it down, and you seeing cats being hung in effigy and just a lot of really, really personal attacks that feel extra in a way that I can't quite put my fingers on the reason why. I didn't love all that. So I'm happy that we get some closure here, because grinding under those circumstances couldn't have been healthy long term for him, and as you mentioned, for the family. So I hope some peace and reset is able. But he a big boy, and I'm sure he will be just fine. He's a talented cat. We'll have a lot of opportunities. We don't necessarily get put on the GM carousel the way others do. So I'll be really curious to see what's next for him.
It's interesting you say that too, Purse. It would be interesting. Again, this man live his life as he sees fit. But knowing Nico, relatively well, and his presence, man, and his, also played some pro ball. He did. It would be interesting. They're creating these new GM roles at some of these universities, right? There's an AD and there's a GM. That would
I
be
have
an
seen it.
interesting
Yeah.
look for him, right? Andrew Luck at
Hmm.
Stanford and things like that.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Um, be interesting to see if he landed at a major institution in a role like that, especially with NIL and the enterprising nature of
Sure.
college sport now.
Sure.
That would be really interesting. Um,
And what are they doing over there? Because I've seen quite a few of those placements, and it feels like they're there for economic engine
hmm
purposes.
hmm
What's the spec on those types of jobs?
Yeah, so my thought is this, person. If you go again, I'm not going to stay away from social science. You go Bordeaux on this thing, and you talk about social, cultural, economic capital. This one plays heavy on economic capital, in my
Okay.
opinion. Can you bring money into this institution?
Hmm.
Can you help perfect the NIL formula? And we got coaches to do all that other great stuff. But that's how I'm reading this. And when you think about Nico, man, who would be better equipped to do something like that? And it takes him out of that madness in professional sport, dealing
Sure.
with the owners and that sort of
Sure.
thing, man.
Sure. Because
Um,
universities aren't political at all.
they are, they are, but we seeing some nice buyout money uh, in college sports too, boy. So if he could orchestrate one of those deals, right?
What about you? Would you go do that?
Brother, I enjoy my Wednesdays, man, when I can sit here and look at my frat brother. and um,
No, I
hey
mean, like,
man,
I mean, I didn't mean to put this in a DJ resume kind of space, but those are jobs that your resume, right, my resume, make us interesting candidates for in that space. And you are still very much in the game. Could you see yourself in academia, but not in academia at the same time?
that will be the role. That will pull me back into the game.
Okay.
Again, the enterprising nature of it, the ability to impact student athletes. And then I also think it's just the ability to add value, man.
Okay.
Yeah, those roles feel really interesting. The institution would definitely matter. The institution would definitely matter. I'd like to know there's some folks there. So I recently met with the AD at Case Western, brother from Ohio State.
Yep.
That would be a really interesting institution to think about doing something like that. I think there's some kind of hidden equity. The founder, creator of the Aerosol, for example, is a Case grad.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Nike plays that out at all the way they could.
Mm.
So, short answer to your question, man, for the right GM role at a university, doesn't have to be a D1. Yeah, man. And to do the NIL thing right,
This is
uh,
me leaning into my microphone for anyone who is listening. Dr. Daryl Jones is available for consultation and referrals. If you're interested,
you,
hit us up. We can get you in touch with them.
you're going to make
Interesting.
me seem like a LinkedIn ad where it's like seeking employment, man. That's
Exactly right. Oh,
crazy.
what does it say? Open for hire, open
Open
for
for
networking.
hire. Yeah, ain't that something, man? That's like will work for food. That's crazy. Would you?
Handicap the sports scene. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Let me ask. Would you consider something like that?
Nah, nah. I'm not. As you said, I like my Wednesdays. Bruh, I'm itinerant right now.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I am just floating and traveling around and trying to move through a series of transitions, but nothing says to me, you know what you need to do? Go punch a clock again. No, like
I know,
give up your
man.
calendar and give up. So
I
so no,
know.
I now in an advisory capacity for sure.
There you go.
If you sitting on someone's board, sitting as someone's advisory council would be interesting under the
Mm-hmm.
right circumstances. Watching one of my boys or one of my girls get a big job and they say, hey, we want you to spend 20 hours a month helping us frame the situation. I'm up for that kind of work always.
Okay.
But bruh, having a staff,
I know.
punching a clock, chasing a W-2, not where my head is,
I
not where
know,
my
man.
energy is. Ask me again after next summer, after my youngest graduates from college, and I'm fully transitioned from the world of writing tuition checks and all that comes with that. Maybe, but dog, I ain't nothing better in my day than spending it with my lady, spending it traveling to see my people,
Mhm.
reading a book. Like truth be told, I'm a hermit, man, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out of this. So now, I think all those jobs are interesting. I think they come with a fair amount of political intrigue that I'm no longer interested in.
Mhm.
I have learned that the business development aspect of those types of jobs is not a lot of fun. It's not a light
Mm-mm.
pressure to have a number on your head and constantly be in fundraising mode. So nah, but I see the value in them. I'm just those days are behind me at this point in time. Now, never say never. So again, anybody want to give me a call? Nah.
Well, brother, you be great at it, man. I think because there is a marketing and branding aspect to this that I think is emerging, and especially when you think about uh, the dual gender aspect and all the opportunities around that. The thing I love about, and again, I talk about Case a lot, man. When I get an opportunity, I just it's true student athletes to me, man. They go on and end up at med school, Michigan State University,
Sure.
right? And I love that. I
Yep.
love what it forms and the humans that program, that athletic program builds. So stuff like that makes me want to be involved. To your point, man, let me be a nice advisor or consultant.
Let's
You're going to
spin the
ask me
block
something.
let's spin the block real quick. Just switching gears for a quick second. Um, let's see. The Las Vegas Aces won in the WNBA. Asia Wilson's getting all her flowers. The Dodgers won in LA, getting all their flowers. Shohei Ohtani is a freak of nature, a
Whew.
one of one. Talk to me about what it means when you see that brother pitch and hit and do his thing like we've never seen before.
Rich, anybody who's picked up a baseball or watched the sport of baseball knows how hard it is to be incredibly um, impactful at any position or just hitting the ball.
Yep.
And typically that's what they're known for. You're known for pitching, you're known for bunting, you're known for, man, to do what he's doing on both sides of things, man, I've never seen anything like it. And I don't know if we ever will again. I would love to do a study on youth baseball um, in his country and see what was a little different. But we about to see more of it. I can tell you that.
Who's the dude coming over? Is he a third baseman? I think he's an infielder.
He's definitely an infielder, and I believe he's a third baseman, and I don't know his name. But we're gonna see more of it, man. And just think about what we're seeing out of Europe into the NBA.
Yep.
That singular sport focus at times, I think,
Mhm.
matters.
Yep.
Right now, I don't know what it's gonna mean for softball as it relates to women's sports, but bruh, I've never seen anything like it, man. I'm still amazed at that because I was a baseball kid growing up.
Sure.
I mean, what were you thinking? Because you went to one of the games,
I did. I went to the game
right?
after. I did. I went to the game
I
after
mean,
the 18 inning game. It was a game he pitched, so it was a spectacular time. I went by myself, last minute ticket. I'm sitting third base line, bleachers, maybe 20 rows up, but I'm right next to the bullpen. So he comes out to warm up with a little bit of a kind of long toss, intermediate toss in the outfield, warming him up, which was very, very cool just to watch him do his thing right in front of me in the left field, outfield in the left field. Then he goes into the bullpen, warming up, man. It's just, I was like a little kid again. I was very much like a little
man,
kid again. It was exciting every time he got on the mound. You were hanging on each pitch. Every time he got up to bat, you were looking for him to pull one out. He makes it look effortless. He moves effortlessly. He's a big dude. Like he's not a tiny man at all.
Okay.
He strikes you as I don't know his specs, but feels 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, is he that tall? Okay.
Yeah, but solidly built. So it's impressive. They lost that game. Wasn't even close to that particular game. It was a spectacular World Series, and I am a Yankees fan because I'm a Reggie Jackson fan because I was a
Mm-hmm.
Reggie, right? And I remember being 10 years old and watching Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in Yankee Stadium on 3 pitches, right? And forever for always I was changed. Like, oh, Reggie, that's my dude. And I thought that was the most amazing thing I had ever seen. No hitters are great and all the things, but that was the most amazing singular feat I'd ever seen. The notion that he would go out and pitch during a game like that makes no sense. So seeing Shohei hit 3 home runs in a game when he was pitching, it just don't make no sense to me. I don't
It
understand it.
doesn't. It doesn't, man. And again, a little crazy. We call it the World Series, and all the teams are in the United States. We won't go there right now.
Toronto's not in the United States.
This is true. This is true. This is true. But doesn't it make you think if we brought some of these Japanese teams over here, some of these, what would happen? It would
It
be
does
really
because
interesting.
Matsuyama and all. I mean, there's been a pipeline of onesie twosies Japanese
Hmm.
players who have come and done Ichiro. Like we've seen these cats over here. Hideki Nomo, all like we've seen them over here ones and twos. I would love the notion of an international division in baseball. I don't know how it will work, but I'd love to see that. There's two things I really want to see in sports: international divisions in the major sports, particularly basketball and baseball, and I want to see gender competition. I want to see men and women compete against each other, and I want to find
Oh,
the
wow.
right hybrid model to make it happen. Like I think it's doable in golf for sure.
Hmm.
I think you got to manage some of the driving distances, but I think there are ways to, make that an interesting, compelling sport. Maybe it's, co-ed teams. I don't know. I think there's a way to do it in tennis. I think it's harder in all the other sports, but I am intrigued by more and more the space of elite athletes competing across gender. I think there's something there.
Well, the Midwestern kid in me thinks you could also see it in bowling. Again, that's a stretch around sports, but I've been to pro bowling competitions, man. I'm telling you, they're exciting. I was a bowler growing up.
So was I. So was I.
Okay, so I think you could
I,
do some
I,
interesting.
I, I don't really be telling people about my Mark Roth affinity, and growing
Oh
up watching,
man, okay.
growing up
Look at
watching all of the things. But yeah, so was I.
look at you throwing
Marshall
Earl Anthony
Holman,
and Mark Roth out there like that, man.
yep, yep,
Oh,
yep,
that
yep.
was Saturday
Dick
mornings.
Weber.
Man, the Brunswick tournaments, bruh.
I
Yeah, I
can't
saw
say
my.
I can't say I've actually gone to one live. I don't see how that would be exciting, but I'd take your word for it.
You know what? And I know how you wouldn't. It was 19. No, no, no. It was 2018, and they had a tournament in Vegas, championship tournament.
Recently, interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was at Red Rock Casino,
Okay, yeah.
and I went, man. Championship tournament. I was like, this is fire. Like I got a front row seat. It was fire to a person. It was
Was it still a
bad,
lot of
man.
polyester?
You know, nah, they got a little blink to them now, man. Nah, they've advanced. They wearing a lot of colors. But it was dope, man. It was dope.
Okay,
I'd be remiss, man, if I didn't talk about your son's journey, if that's okay.
it's okay.
Because you said there's two things you like to see. I want to imagine there's three things you like to see in sport, and the opportunity for the third is upcoming, man. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can. As we sit here recording now, my youngest son and his teammates on the Occidental Tigers men's soccer team have recently punched their ticket to the big dance, and they have a round one game coming up this Saturday in Minneapolis, Minnesota against Augsburg University.
Mm-hmm.
So round one of the NCAA tournament. It's been a great run for the squad. They started the season off a little clunky. My boy started off on the injured reserve, unable to perform list. I'm not going to say these two things coincide, but his return to the lineup coincides with them going 7-1-10 over their last 7-1-2 over their last 10 games, and he has been part of a really great run the team is on. He doesn't take full credit for it, but he in the sauce for sure. So I'm excited for him. This is their second time in 3 years they've made it to the big dance. Last time they went to the Sweet 16 a couple years ago, which is really, really cool. Losing in double overtime and a heartbreaker to Amherst at Amherst. So we travel. We going to Minneapolis this weekend. It's gonna be a
That's
good
dope.
time. The weather's gonna hold up. It's not gonna be super, super cold. So the kids from the West Coast will have a fighting chance. And I'm excited, man. And most importantly, I am happy to see my boy playing pain free,
Mm.
doing something he loves to do. And there's nothing better than being in the stands, watching your kids do what they love to do. I got a chance earlier in the year to see my firstborn do his first 100-mile bicycle race, which was
Oh,
really, really
wow.
cool. And watching the journey of him training to get ready for that was really cool. So it has been a red letter year, a banner year in the Hamlet sports environment. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, there's something in that, man. We got to take off here, but you'll find your passion, man, and just be open. It might not happen at 15, might not happen at 20, but finding your passion is a heck of a experience. Here's the other thing I say, man. Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, Doug Williams, Scottie Pippen. Don't let these small schools fool you. There
Mm-hmm.
is talent at these
Mm-hmm.
small colleges and
Mm-hmm.
universities.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dynamics happen on where people land and why they land there, but don't be fooled by the talent at these schools.
D3 soccer is real. It is fun to watch. It is not bad soccer at all. And with the recent announcement of U.S. Soccer Federation, the National Sports Federation, basically saying we're doubling down on college soccer as a pipeline.
Oh,
You
wow.
will see more and more of these kids
Okay.
get looks, and it might be a pipeline that takes them through minor league, USL 2, USL pathways up through some MLS programs. But there are a lot of avenues for college soccer players prioritizing D1, but there's a lot of avenues developing for college soccer to be a pipeline into a professional journey. And so I'm excited for what that means for the generations to come and the road ahead for a lot of cats. I think my boy is very much a scientist, and so he will hang his cleats up at the appropriate time and turn his attention to all the things that will come on the other side of graduation. And I'm excited about that as well. Last thing I say is, dog, this I don't know how you can be a good student doing this. So shout out to the real student athletes, man, because
Right?
it's a grind. I'm watching this cat be a biochem major and give all the time he gives to a lot of other endeavors outside the pitch, man. And I cringe. We'll see what the grades look like in December, but I am proud of him, man, because he is
Good,
grinding. He's
man.
in the labs, in a couple of labs. He's a tutor. He's a mentor. He's on the soccer team. He's giving his time. And I think that the learning of the student athlete, we've said it before, I'll say it again, is hard to beat. They get exposed to a lot of stuff, man. And if they're
Hmm.
paying attention, the opportunity to turn it into a career path, a vocation, a life, to punch your ticket, to get your passport, to see the world through sport, that's a great avenue.
Go, young man, go.
Yeah. So we're excited. I appreciate you asking. Real quick, Super Bowl contenders. What you got at this stage of the game?
Chiefs, Lions.
Chiefs Lions. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Same, yeah. Chiefs,
We'll go with it
Lions.
because I ain't watching. So all my boys are from Detroit. So anything that has the Lions in the championship game, I'm here. I'm with it. I
Yep.
don't want it to be the Chiefs though. So we'll go Ravens Lions.
Yeah, this isn't really desire, but hard to count those cats out. You still got homeboy back there.
Yeah.
And the Lions, I think they know this has to be their year. They got a tough one
Gotta
coming
be.
up against the Eagles, but
Gotta be. Gotta be. This is Mama We Made It with DJ and Reg. That continues to be DJ. I continue to be Reg. We enjoy the world of sports. There's a lot of going on. Nico, we rock with you, brother. Good luck on the road ahead. Peace and blessings, everybody. Check us out on YouTube, on all the podcast platforms. Subscribe, like us, rate us, review us. Let us know what you think. We're trying to get this thing right one Wednesday at a time. We'll catch you soon. Peace.
Mama,